Hi friends, it's Kelly, and today I have a layout for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. This sketch comes from Susan Stringfellow from Sketch Savvy. This is day 4. So I am using the No Limits collection by Coco Vanilla Studio. This is the first layout I've done with this collection. So I just went and did a little stitching around the edge there. I'm just using a black thread, and then I am distressing my edges a little bit. So I'm going to use the cut apart, some of the cut apart sheets for this layout. And I'm just creating, like as you saw in the sketch, a vertical row of just strips from this paper collection. And mainly, most of this comes from the cut apart sheet, which I didn't show you all of this process of cutting that down, but this is all from the cut apart sheet. And I'm trying to add some of the little word phrases and keep a balance of color, and mainly a balance of color here. And since I have the rainbow stripe paper, I use that as my edge. I wanted to make sure to include a little bit of the rainbow stripe in my little paper strips here. So I'm just adding just a tiny bit of glue down the strips of these, because in a moment I'm going to take this to my sewing machine, and sticking pretty closely to the sketch, I'm going to run a line of stitching down through the middle of these paper strips. And I felt like I needed a little more black, because in the cut apart sheet I have that black and white strip up there at the top, and I just felt like I needed a little bit more of the black and white in represented in my cluster, so that one strip just didn't just stick out up there. And this is kind of a random process, other than the fact that I'm trying to not have a bunch of word strips all in one, all together. I wanted it to be a pattern, a word, a pattern, a word, something, just to give it a little more balance between the text and just the pattern. So real quick, I went over and stitched this and roughed up the edges of each of those little pattern strips. I didn't take the time to show you me doing that, because that is a long not very interesting process, probably. So I'm just going again through the cut apart sheets to do, I'm just using, there's 2 4x6 cards. The rest of them are all 3x4 cards on that larger cut apart sheet. So I'm just using 2 of the 4x6s, and before I start layering, I'm going to mat that paper on, I'm going to mat my photo on some white cardstock, just to give it a little more contrast between the dark colors, and therefore helping the photo to stand out a little better. So I want to add some more, and I'm thinking about adding another layer underneath this. I'm just trying out some different pages to see if I like any of them, and I decide to just adhere it down like this. I do get one of the 3x4 cut aparts and play around with layering that, just because I wanted a little more color in these layers. So my original plan didn't work out, so I'm going to just cut a tiny strip of those stripes and tuck those beneath my edges there, as you see. And I have a little trouble with this one. It's slippery because I'm trying to distress it before it is completely adhered, and I ended up having to just cut up another strip that was a little bit thicker that I had a little more control over. The other one was a slippery little fella. So I'm going to back all of my photo cluster here, or photo layers or stacks, however you want to say it, on some fun foam just to give it a tiny bit of lift off the paper. And now I'm going to start embellishing, and I'm just using some of the die cut pieces from the ephemera pack. And a little bit of this is bothering me because I have some trapped white space. If you'll see right there where it says "You're the best," I know I'm holding this package over that part, but it's the yellow strip that says "You're the best." There's a white space between I'm going to try to find something to cover that up, but I still want the words to show up pretty well, so I just kind of had to play around with stuff to try and cover up that white space, or trapped space, not necessarily white space, just trapped space. And here I'm covering this little trap space where it says out of this world, with this little circle frame, which is where my title will rest. And don't be like me, add foam tape before you lay it down for some stability, which I'm doing after the fact, which makes it way harder to do. So I'm just going to start layering some of these elements to the paper strips. I'm going to end up creating 3 clusters of embellishments, where right there where the button epoxy flare, no, it's not epoxy, where the buttons are. So I'm going to put a circle down for each of the circle button, I don't know what to call these, the button elements to rest on. So I have 3 circles, which gives me a little bit of balance and softness against all those harsh straight edges. And again, don't be like me, add foam tape before you lay it down. It makes life a whole lot easier. So I just don't want the title to collapse when I put it in my page protector, so I'm just adding a little bit of foam tape to the backs of anything that has a little bit of dimension. And I want each of my clusters to have some repeating elements, which will be the star elements. And then I felt like it needed something over here to balance the heaviness of the left-hand side of the layout. So I just added that little ticket stub, which I feel like is a good little addition over there on the right-hand side. And then I added a little banner directly to the folder. And now that I look at it, that little peace sign would have been super cute there, and so would the other, layering the ticket over there on the other side would have been super cute too. But I'm just playing around until I find something that I like. So my finishing touch is my smallest element, which in this case are these star puffy stickers, and there's like little tiny, the round elements are like little like a little planet or star or something. So it's a super cute embellishment pack. Thank you for watching. I am done with this layout. Be sure to check out all the other ladies participating in this hop. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.